How to manage your money like the 1%. It's not about how much you earn, it's about how you manage what you have. That's one of the biggest lessons I've learned over the past 10 years working in finance with high net worth clients. Whether you're making $50,000 or $500,000 a year, the strategies used by the top 1% to build and protect their wealth can work for anyone. In this video, I'll break down the 156,520 and 751,015 systems, simple, proven methods that can help you manage your money like a financial pro. This system blends the best of the 15/65/20 and 10/75/15 methods to create a balanced, adaptable approach. It splits your income into three parts, about 10 to 15% for savings and investments, 65 to 75% for essential expenses, and 20% for discretionary spending. This strategy helps you build a safety net, control your spending, and invest for long-term growth, all tailored to fit your personal financial situation. 2. Core principles of the system. 1. Spending limitations. First, the 751,015 rule says that for every dollar you earn, a maximum of 75 cents, or 75% of your income, should go towards spending, things like housing, food, vacations, and other expenses. If you can keep your spending below that threshold, even better. The power of the 75% rule is that it provides flexibility while encouraging two important habits. First, it forces you to seek more cost-effective options. Do you really need premium gas, or will regular do? Organic, free-range guacamole, or a more affordable alternative? Whole Foods or Aldi? I've noticed that most wealthy people share a common mindset when it comes to spending wisely. When I started my own business and began networking with other entrepreneurs, I saw this firsthand. As an introvert, putting myself out there was a big step. But one of the most eye-opening moments came when a group of us went out for dinner after an event. These were all millionaires, yet they were asking the waiter about happy hour specials and the cheapest wine available. And when the bill arrived, I kid you not, people pulled out their phones to calculate how to split it precisely, down to the last cent, so that everyone only paid for what they ordered. The second thing the 75% rule does is shift your focus toward value. You've probably heard the advice to stop buying coffee and invest that money instead, but I think that's the wrong perspective. The real question should be, how much do you value what you're buying? If that $5 iced coffee makes you happier, more productive, more social, and reduces your stress for the entire day, then the value you're getting far outweighs the cost, so go ahead and enjoy it. Instead of cutting out small purchases, focus on the bigger ones. A brand new car, a 100-inch TV, or even a fancy cheese dispenser might bring you temporary excitement, but after the initial honeymoon period, your happiness returns to baseline. That $70,000 car eventually just becomes another car, doing the same job as any other vehicle. Now, if you manage to spend less than 75% of your income, say you only use 60%, hold on to that extra 15%. In a bit, I'll show you exactly what to do with it. 2. Saving strategies and emergency fund. Imagine you're going about your day when suddenly, you get a flat tire, an unexpected medical bill, or a family emergency. Without an emergency fund or a financial cushion, you're not just dealing with the crisis itself, you're also scrambling to figure out how to pay for it. And just like that, your finances can spiral out of control. But that's where your 15% cushion comes in. Start by building a quick access emergency fund with at least 1 month's worth of essential expenses. This is your first line of defense against life's surprises. And 1 month of expenses isn't as much as you might think. It doesn't include Netflix, dining out, or other discretionary spending. It's just the basics: rent or mortgage, groceries, transportation, and utility bills. From there, work your way up to 3 to 6 months' worth of essential expenses. Having this emergency cushion provides true peace of mind. If a major crisis happens, a job loss, a health scare, or any other unexpected event, you'll be covered. More importantly, you won't have to go into debt just to stay afloat. Knowing you have 3 to 6 months of financial security means you can focus on handling the emergency itself, rather than stressing over how to pay for it. Next, the 10 in the October 15th, 75 rule means that for every dollar you earn, you should set aside at least 10%, or 10 cents, for something called a cushion fund. A 2022 study found that 56% of Americans couldn't afford an unexpected $1,000 expense. That's why a cushion fund is so important. It's a dedicated cash reserve specifically for financial emergencies. And just to be clear, emergencies don't include wild nights out, vacations, or sudden fried chicken cravings. This money is for when things truly go sideways, when your house floods, when you're stranded in the middle of nowhere with no options, or when life just completely falls apart. I learned this lesson the hard way about 8 years ago when I got into a terrible car accident that wrecked the front of my car. I was in a completely different state, didn't know anyone, and the repair bill was going to be around $15,000. I had no idea how I was going to come up with that kind of money. I even considered taking out a loan, knowing full well that interest would make the total cost skyrocket. But then I remembered, I had my cushion fund, saved specifically for emergencies like this. Figuring out how much you need in your cushion fund is simple. Open a spreadsheet and list out all your essential monthly expenses, rent, utilities, groceries, and yes, even pineapple pizza bills. Multiply that total by 5. If your monthly expenses are $2,000, you should aim to save $10,000 to cover 5 months of expenses. Once you've set your savings goal, commit to reaching it. Personally, I used a savings goal tracker to help me save faster. I just entered my target amount and tracked my progress visually. But just as important as saving is knowing where to keep your cushion fund. Most people store their savings in traditional accounts at banks like Chase or Bank of America, but a much better option is a high-yield savings account, HYSA. These accounts offer significantly higher interest rates, helping your money grow faster. For example, a traditional savings account might offer a measly 0.5% APY, meaning if you deposit $10,000, you'd earn just $57 in interest after a year, leaving you with a total of $10,057. Meanwhile, a HYSA offering 4% APY would give you $400 in interest, bringing your total to $10,400 in the same timeframe. I'll link some great HYSA options below. However, one of the biggest mistakes people make is not knowing when to stop saving. The truth is, you don't need to keep saving forever. Once you've built your 5-month cushion fund, stop putting money into it. Instead, hold on to that 10% you were setting aside, because next, I'm going to show you exactly what to do with it. 3. Smart investing and compound growth. The 15 in the October 15th, 75 rule means that for every dollar you earn, at least 15%, or 15 cents, should be invested for your future. To maximize your investments, you should start with 2 specific types of accounts that offer major tax advantages. The goal of the 15% rule is simple: put your money to work so you can build assets and long-term wealth. Because real wealth doesn't come from just earning a paycheck, it comes from owning assets. The problem is, most of us were only taught how to make money through work and labor. School teaches us how to land a high-paying job, but the wealthiest people in the country don't build their fortunes from salaries, they build them through investments and assets. After reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, I had a major realization: you can be broke even with a high-paying job, but if you own income-generating assets, you can spend all your money today and still be financially secure next month. Unfortunately, this is something most of us weren't taught in school or by our parents. I had to seek it out myself by reading books like The Psychology of Money and The Intelligent Investor. Once you understand this concept, you can't unlearn it. But if you never learn it, you may never achieve true wealth. To start investing strategically, you should focus on 2 key accounts that offer major tax benefits. 1. Roth IRA, Individual Retirement Account. A Roth IRA is one of the best ways to grow wealth because your earnings and profits grow tax-free. That means when you retire and withdraw your money, you won't pay a single cent in taxes on your earnings. For example, billionaire investor Peter Thiel famously grew his Roth IRA to $5 billion, and when he eventually withdraws the money, he won't owe any taxes on it. The catch? You can only contribute after-tax money, meaning money you've already paid taxes on, like your paycheck. And because this is such a powerful wealth-building tool, the government limits how much you can contribute each year. In 2024, if you're under 50, you can contribute up to $7,000 per year. If you're over 50, you can contribute up to $8,000 per year. How to open and contribute to a Roth IRA? It's a simple 4-step process. Earned income. You must have earned income, whether from a job, freelancing, or your own business. Choose a brokerage. Go to a brokerage website like Fidelity, Charles Schwab, or Vanguard and open a Roth IRA account. Fund your account. Transfer money from your bank account into your Roth IRA. Invest your money. This step is crucial. Many people open a Roth IRA but forget to invest the money, leaving it sitting in cash. If you don't invest, your account won't grow. Don't stress about investment choices. I'll share my go-to investments later. 2. 401k, Employer-Sponsored Retirement Account. A 401k is a retirement account offered by employers. Unlike a Roth IRA, your contributions are made with pre-tax dollars, meaning you won't pay taxes on the money now, you'll pay when you withdraw it in retirement. The idea is that most people's income will be lower in retirement, so they'll pay fewer taxes in the future compared to now. A 401k has a much higher contribution limit than a Roth IRA, $23,000 per year in 2024. The best part? Employer matching equals free money. Many employers offer a 401k match, meaning they contribute additional money on top of what you invest. The most common match structure looks like this. 100% match for the first 3% you contribute. 50% match for the next 2% you contribute. It sounds complicated, but here's what it means in real numbers. If your salary is $65,000 and you contribute 5%, $3,250 per year. Your employer will match $2,600. Giving you a total of $5,850 in your 401k for the year, just for contributing. This is free money, and if your employer offers a 401k match, it's a no-brainer to take advantage of it. Once you have one, or both, of these retirement accounts set up, the next step is figuring out where to invest your money. I'll break down the best investments that you can set and forget to grow your wealth over time. 3. Creating a balanced budget. 1. Allocation strategies. When planning your budget, you have a couple of solid allocation methods to choose from. The 15/65/20 method dedicates 15% of your income to savings, 65% to essential expenses, and 20% to enjoyment, ensuring you save enough while still living comfortably. On the other hand, the 10/75/15 method sets aside 10% for savings, 75% for all spending, and 15% specifically for investing, emphasizing long-term growth through smart investments. The key is to adjust these percentages based on your personal financial situation and long-term goals to create a plan that works best for you. 2. Practical daily spending. Now, let's talk about the 65 of the 156520 rule, the portion of every dollar that should go toward your fundamental expenses. This is where the basics come in: rent or mortgage, groceries, utilities, transportation, and other necessities that keep your life running smoothly. But here's the tricky part: these expenses have a sneaky way of ballooning out of control. You know how it goes: you get a raise, and suddenly, your old apartment feels too small. Or you decide to upgrade your car, thinking it's a sign of progress. But if those upgrades come with higher rent, insurance, or maintenance costs, you could end up in a financial trap. Without a cap on spending, your expenses will always rise to match your income, unless you actively fight against it. That's why setting a firm 65% limit on core expenses is so important. It keeps your essential costs in check, so you're not scrambling just to cover the basics. Of course, this is easier said than done, especially if you live in an expensive city. According to the Office for National Statistics, housing is the largest spending category, accounting for about 19% of total weekly expenses. This includes rent, mortgage payments, and utility bills. Transportation comes in second, making up about 14% of household spending, covering vehicle purchases, maintenance, fuel, and public transit. Take a hard look at your own spending. Write down your biggest expense categories. Once you know where your money is going, you can start optimizing the biggest costs. Can you negotiate a better deal on rent? Can you swap your daily commute for a more affordable option? This isn't about cutting out all the little joys in life, it's about keeping the big, unavoidable costs under control. When you manage those wisely, you free up more money for the things that actually bring you happiness. And now for the fun part, the last 20% of every dollar you earn. In the book Die with Zero, the author shares a powerful idea. The goal isn't to die with a massive bank account, it's to use your money to create a rich and fulfilling life. The wealthiest 1% know this secret, and they intentionally make room in their budgets for guilt-free enjoyment. And so should you. Because let's be real, all work and no play is a surefire way to burn out. Studies show that people who allow themselves some flexibility in their budgets are far more likely to stick to their long-term financial goals. It's kind of like dieting. If you never allow yourself a cheat meal, you're more likely to break down and binge. The same principle applies to money. Now, you might be wondering, won't this derail my savings and investments? Not at all. In fact, it will probably do the opposite. If you don't set aside money for guilt-free spending, you're more likely to overspend later, or worse, abandon your financial goals entirely. That's why the 15-65-20 rule recommends using 20% of your income for fun, enjoyment, and personal fulfillment. You can even reframe this as an investment in yourself. Staying motivated, balanced, and energized increases your chances of sticking to your financial plan long-term. What guilt-free spending looks like. This can mean treating yourself to a really nice dinner once a month. Finally buying that bag or gadget you've been eyeing. Planning a fun getaway with friends. The key is to enjoy 20% of your income without guilt or shame. By setting boundaries for your spending, you're actually creating more freedom in your finances, ensuring that both your future and present self are taken care of. 4. Practical steps to implement the system. 1. Establish your emergency fund. Begin by calculating your essential monthly expenses. Open a dedicated savings account and set an initial target, such as 1 month's worth of expenses. Over time, gradually build this up to a full cushion covering 3 to 6 months to protect you from unexpected financial shocks. 2. Kickstart your investment journey. Open tax-advantaged retirement accounts like a 401k, especially if your employer offers matching contributions, and/or a Roth IRA. Start investing in low-cost, diversified options such as index funds or ETFs to minimize risk. Consider using investment apps to automate and simplify regular contributions. 3. Monitor and adjust your budget. Regularly track your income, spending, and investment progress. Periodically review your financial plan and adjust your allocations as needed based on changes in your income or evolving financial goals. Conclusion. There you have it, simple, effective strategies to manage your money like the 1%. By setting spending limits, building a solid emergency fund, and investing smartly, you can take control of your finances and secure your future, no matter your income. Remember, it's not about how much you make, it's about how you manage what you have. If you found these tips useful, please like, comment, and subscribe for more insights on mastering your money. Follow our channel to join a community of savvy savers and investors who are all on the path to financial freedom. Your journey to smarter money management starts today.